Sahavir Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Samasta Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Okay, we'll do 3 times Trayambakam. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamrutat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamrutat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamrutat. Yes. So, we are now going to discover whether we are Asura or Devas. Because it's the same person that sometimes is an Asura, sometimes is a Deva. Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, all were Devas. They became Asuras through curse, again went back to be Devas. So there is no permanent Deva, permanent Asura. In the process, there is no permanent Deva, there is no permanent Asura. All are, the modern word is work in progress. That is the modern word. Anyway, listen carefully, please. Why do we say listen carefully, listen carefully? You are listening because we feel there is something important which can make a difference to your life, and therefore we want you to give all your attention. That's all. Not that we are trying to teach you disciplines. No. We feel there is something important. You must listen, right? So that it benefits. Several people are doing several things. All of them are doing for mainly 2 motives. Dukkha nivritti, sukha prapti. Getting rid of pain, gaining happiness. Right? It is here that you have to listen very carefully. Getting rid of pain, gaining happiness. What is it you have to carefully listen? That which has pain will always have pain. That which has no pain will never have pain. Therefore, what is the point in struggling? That which has pain will always have pain. That which has no pain will never have pain. So why work at all? Because you cannot change. Yes, that's what Vedanta says. You need not change. You cannot change. You need not change. Hmm? Can there be any situation at any time in the world that man is not challenged by the discomforts of the body, the mind, and the intellect? Can there be ever a foolproof formula through which one can escape the pain, the suffering, the sorrow of the body, mind, and intellect, encountering the objects, emotions, and thoughts? Can there be ever a situation? It's not possible. It is not possible. The body, the mind, the intellect, the world of objects, emotions, and thoughts, they ever changing, being finite, having different usages for pain and comfort, joy and sorrow, honor and dishonor, have been programmed by the all compassionate, all loving, all capable Lord for ever sake. So to expect them to change is stupid. But they belong to you. Body belongs to you, mind belongs to you, intellect belongs to you. You are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect. Every problem belongs to the body, mind, or intellect. Since you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect, you have no problem. Now connect to my first sentence. That which has pain will always have pain. That which has no pain will never have pain. You are that different from the body, mind, intellect. You will never have pain. The body, mind, intellect will always have challenges. So now what to do? You are confused now with your identity. You being the owner, the master, different from the body, mind, intellect, assume yourself to be the body, mind, intellect, and therefore you go through their limitations and sorrows and sufferings. All that is needed is knowledge. And that is how the Gita started when Arjuna was confused, seeing catastrophe everywhere. Krishna starts teaching him. You are seeing things which are not there. You are worrying over things which need not be worried over at all. That's what Sri Krishna started teaching Arjuna. And in the process, he tried to reveal the nature of the self. The self is not born, doesn't die. Najayate, namriyate, nava kadachit. It's never born, never dies. It has none of the defects of the body. Ajaha, nityaha, shashvataha. Unborn, eternal, permanent. That's the self, that's what you are. Therefore, enjoy yourself in fullness, dropping this mind that makes you believe you are the body, mind, intellect, therefore creates desires, therefore disappointments and agitations, and therefore prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmana eva atmana tushtaha stita prajnaha tada uchyate. Cast off this mind, you are happy. The same thing was developed up to 15th chapter. What did it say? Supposing you have open space, You can't find any defect in an open space. You build a house, you put walls around the space. Then you say, oh, this corner is not according to the line. It's not according to Shastra, right? This room is short. That room is stuffy. How? Every room is only space. But as space, it was beautiful. You put encrustations around the space, and then you say this room is not all right, that room is not all right. Now you are seeing the space through the walls. The space which can never be conditioned appears to be conditioned. The dreamer has all the problems, but the dreamer is none other than the waker who is comfortably sleeping in his air-conditioned bedroom. The waves and the bubbles are always having challenges, but the waves and the bubbles are none other than the uh, indestructible water. The indestructible water, when it sees itself through a name and a form, believes itself to be finite by its very perception. So also the waker, when he forgets his own real being, sees himself through the mind in the dream, assumes all the various challenges of the dream. So all that has to be done is not changing the outside world, not changing anything, changing your understanding, your confusion about your ID. You have to know who you are, what you are, and then you will find Sri Gurudev puts a beautiful sentence. You are dreaming, you are lost. Right? You are dreaming, you are lost. You are not lost. Right? It's only a dream. All our thoughts about birth, death, etc., they're all perceptions. Right? They're all perceptions. So all that has to be done is to change these understanding, not mere perceptions. That is a psychiatry. Real understanding that you are the very essence in all the waves and the bubbles. You are the very essence in all the dream world. You are the very essence of all the ornaments. As such, the essence does not have any of the problems. But when this essence identifies with the name and the form, it suffers all the limitations. So we need data. So 15th chapter tells us this world of which you are a part is nothing but his own reflection through the total mind and intellect, and appears to be split into this manifold world of names and forms. It's like a tree, inverted tree, which does not exist, which is only perceived. Why? The truth is seen through the mind. Like the waker seeing himself through the mind becomes the dreamer. So what to do for your problems to end? What to do to gain freedom from sorrow and death? Nothing to do. What else then? How will I get it? Just wake up. You are dreaming. Wake up. You are not lost in a dream. You are dreaming, you are lost. Sri Gurudev says, wake up. Wake up. So when you wake up, you detach from the dream world. You wake up to your own self, detached from all your identifications with the body, mind, intellect, and objects, emotions, and thoughts. There's nothing other than God. The world is God. You are God. It is the God that is functioning in various ways in you. Utkramantam sthitam vapi bunjanam va gunanvitam vimudhananu pashyanti gnana chakshushaha. Utkramantam, when it leaves, sthitam vapi, when it stays, bunjanam, enjoying. Right? It's all done by that life force, which is your real being, the essential being. You have to feel it through intuition. What is intuition? Bring the head and the heart together and feel how a dead body cannot function, work. What makes it work? Intuitively feel the life force. So it's He that is making all activities in you possible. It's He that managing the entire world outside for you. The sun, the moon, and the earth to support you, and the fertility in the earth, the nourishment of the moon, and the various activities being conducted, monitored by Him, even in the process of your eating. And He says, who else is there other than me, closest to you? I am the closest to you. Recognize me. Detach from this world of illusion through the mind. Nirmana moha, jita sanga dosha, adhyatma nitya, vinivritta kamaha, dvandvair vimukta, sukadukka sangehi, gachanti amudaha, padama vyayam tat. I am the closest to you. Sarvasya chaham hrudisam nivishtaha. Matta smriti gnanam apohanam cha. Vedaischa sarvai ahameva vidyaha. Vedanta krut veda videva chaham. I am the one in you. I am the one in you and outside you, supporting everything for your sake. Dvavimau purushau loki.
Hallelujah.
Charas sarvani bhutani. Kutastaha. Some disturbance? Please, whoever it is, put off your mic, please. Kutastha dvavimau purushau loke charaschakshara evacha charas sarvani bhutani kutastokshara uchyate. I am the essence in you. I am the essence in the world. I function through you as a Chetragna, as the individual, as the ego, as the Purusha. I am the one who supports all activities, who doesn't change. I am that. Don't think I am caught in your activities or in the world activities. I don't have to do anything. In my presence, everything happens. I am in you. I am in the world. I am beyond the world. I am in you. I am in the world. I am beyond the world. That beyond the world is called Purushottama. Thus, He has given all the data for you to know that which has problems are only your expressions, not real, as much reality as the dream world, and you have no problems. You are the problem for others. So the whole teaching is completed with the 15th chapter. After that, he said, detach. Detach. Jitasanga doshaha. How to detach? detached from the mind. I should know what all causes the mind. Detachment, he said, Asanga sastrena drudena, at one stroke, cut it off. But for us, too much involved in the material world. So much involved. It's not so easy. So gradually our understanding has to change. We have to know what is real, what is not real, what is apparent. And as Gurudev said, change the gears, lift yourself from tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva, and then beyond sattva. Tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva, and then beyond sattva. That's the mechanism. You have to know what pulls you down, what takes you up, what pulls you down as matter, what takes you up as the essence of the matter, the God. You have to know that, both pulls and the one beyond the pulls. Therefore, those details which were suggested there for the sake of the others, he is elaborating in the 16th and 17th and half of 18 only to tell you how to renounce all this in the beautiful portion of the 18th chapter after 50 verses. Lovely chapter, lovely verses suggesting you, teaching you how to surrender. What is surrender? Moksha Sannyasa, 18th chapter. All these topics have been suggested earlier up to 15. Now they are only highlighted. Because we are not able to get the clues, he is trying to tell us. As manifest beings, we are, some of us are expressing the God that we are. Some of us are expressing the devil that we are. The God that we are is the self in you. The devil that you are is the one that thinks is the body, mind, and intellect. Both are you. Both are you. Both are functioning in you. Kauravas and Pandavas. Kauravas and Pandavas. Both are in you. Both are functioning. So now, having understood what is pulling me down, connecting me to death, what will liberate me from sorrow and death, make me divine, immortal, Deva. This is Asura, that is Deva. We have to know. They're all the mind. Mind is that which splits you, the one, as many as in the sleep. The one waker split into the multiple dream world is by the mind. The one God is split as the multiple world of plurality by the mind. This mind you have to transcend. To transcend the mind, you have to understand the mind. You have to thin out the mind and then give it a direction. Then transcend the mind. So, the mind is also nothing but consciousness plus objects. The mind that is tuned to consciousness is divine, enlightening, Daivi mind. The mind that is obsessed with matter is Asuri. All of us have these two natures. Deva, the pull up. Asura, pull down. There is one more category, Rakshasa. Rakshasa will do anything for his own sake. For his own sake, he doesn't mind destroying the whole world. Not even for his sake, for his ego. For his ego. Ravana destroyed the entire community. For what? Not even for Sita. His ego that he cannot be rejected. He cannot be rejected. Everybody told him what is the truth. He cannot survive. His own son Indrajit said, his brother Kumbhakarna said, of course, all of you know Vibhishna said. But no, he cannot be rejected. He must have what he wants. That ego he destroyed the entire country, the Rakshasa clan. That is Rakshasa, one who will do anything for the sake of the ego. Asura is not like that. Asura is misguided. Asura is misguided. Instead of seeking happiness and security in the self, he seeks it through matter, materialist. Since Rakshasas won't come, even if they come, there is no use talking to them in Geetha. Geetha Acharya does not take Rakshasas, he only takes Daiva and Asura, the two categories, and starts describing their natures. Do not say, my cousin is an Asura, I am a Daiva. No. You yourself sometimes is a Daiva, sometimes is an Asura. Therefore, what you do, wherever you see through this understanding of the 16th chapter that you are an Asura, try to lift it to be Deva. All values taught in Vedanta and in Gita especially are not to judge others, only to change yourself. Right? This explains how one truth, one God appears to be many, seen through the mind, which has qualities. And this God alone, nameless, formless, infinite, takes different functions as an individual, as God, and beyond God. Now let us go to the text 16th chapter. This chapter is called Daiva Asura Sampatti Vibhaga Yoga. Daiva, divine. Asura, Asura, diabolically, Gurudev uses that word, is not a Rakshasa, fallen, diabolically fallen. That's the word Gurudev uses. That is, instead of seeking the right thing in the right way, seeks the same in wrong places in the wrong way. Right? So, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattvasham Shuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi Danam Damascha Yagnascha Swadhyaya Tapa Arjavam. Ahimsa Satyam Akrodha Tyaga Shanti Apaishunam Daya Bhuteshu Alolukvam Mardavam Hrihi Achapalam Teja Kshama Dhrutihi Shaucham Adroho Na Atimanita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. Bharata, one who revels in knowledge, Bha, knowledge, Rata, one who revels in knowledge, Abhijatasya, one who is born. If he has these qualities, he is divine in nature. His wealth, his possessions, are all divine. What are the qualities? Let us see. First quality, mark this. Vyasa doesn't put things accidentally. Sri Veda Vyasa doesn't put anything accidentally. He has a definite purpose, whatever he does. First word is abhayam, fearlessness. Most of us, 99% of our time, suffer. In that, 9% are real pain, 90% of our fear. How does this fear come? How will you not have fear when you are holding on to a serpent? It will bite you anytime. Holding on to this world, which can bite you at any time, how will you not have fear? You will not have fear when you know what you are holding is not a serpent, it is a rope. So also, the world, your body, mind, intellect, yourself are all expressions of God. This knowledge removes fear. Lack of this knowledge, you have to live in fear. You have to live in fear all the time. Therefore, the first word for a man who has clarity of mind, who is climbing up the ladder, not going down, is abhayam. How does that abhayam come? Tattva samshuddhihi, purity of the heart. What do you mean by purity of the heart? No jealousy, no greed, no evil thoughts, love, compassion. How does that come? When he sees himself in all or God in all, he will love all, serve all. So therefore they are all interconnected. You will not have fear only when you see yourself in all, because you are afraid of others, not about yourself. How will you see yourself in all? When you have a clear, pure mind. Jnana yoga vyavastitihi. How will you have a clear mind, pure mind? When you are established in the knowledge of the scriptures. Steadfastness in that knowledge. You may have knowledge, but you are not trying to hold on to that knowledge and live in that. So, Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi. See, tomorrow morning, take all your books. Take all your books and donate it to a library. Only this first half line of this one verse, try to internalize, that's enough. This is what Sri Gandhiji said, because this is the same thing that was said in that Upanishad, Isavasya Upanishad. Sri Gandhiji said, as long as that first verse of the Isavasya Upanishad is there, even if all Hindu books are destroyed, we can recreate them. What is that? Isha Vasya Medagam Sarvam. See the entire world as God. That's all. Same thing here. It's not said in this this thing. What does it mean when it says Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi? And therefore Sattva Samshuddhihi, therefore Abhayam. It's all the same. It's all the same. There it is more straightforward. Isha was, because the students there were Upanishadic students. Okay. And then damam, danam. Da in Sanskrit means to cut. Danam, by giving charity, you cut your attachment to your possession. A man who is too attached to possessions would not like to give even charity. Danam, that helps you to cut your attachment. Tamascha, self-control, that means trying to live as God, beyond the body, not as a dog. Tamascha, yajnascha, living for others. Swadhyaya taparjavam, self-study, study of the Shastras, disciplines, tapa, arjavam, straightforwardness. This one quality you cannot escape if you have to be a spiritual student. Straightforward. That is why Arjuna was selected, because the name Arjuna, Rujutvat Arjunaha, Arjavam, Arjuna are connected. Arjavam and Arjuna. Rujutvat, straightforwardness. What is straightforwardness? I think you are a crook, but I want a favor from you to tell you you are God. That's not straightforward. What is straightforward? Should I tell you you are a crook? No, not necessary. Don't tell the truth. Just keep quiet. That is not wrong. But if you tell, it has to be correct. Satyam vada, priyam vada, hitam vada. Bhagavatam adds one more, mitam vada. Satyam vada, priyam vada, hitam vada. Mitam vada. Damascha yajnascha swadhyaya tapa. That is tapas. Moderation in everything. In speaking, it will come later in the 17th chapter. What is tapas? At different levels. Tapas at the level of the body, tapas at the level of the mind, tapas at the level of the actions or speech. It will all come. Tapaha arjavam, straightforwardness. Tejaha, vigor, brilliance. Kshama, forgiveness. Drutihi, fortitude. Adroham. Adroha is no treason, not trying to backstab anybody. Absence of hatred. Adroha. Na atimanita, not self-conceited. Pride of too much, thinks too much about him. Bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. These, in between there is one. Ahimsa, non-injury, that's always at the level of the mind. A doctor amputates the leg, he is not called cruel. Satyam, doing what you say, saying what you think. Satyam. Akrodaha, free from anger. Tyagaha, renunciation. Shantihi, peace. Apaishunam, no crookedness. Daya, compassion. Bhuteshu, aloluptvam, not coveting others' possessions or wealth or about themselves. Mardavam, gentleness. He, modesty. Achapalam, absence of fickleness. You promise something now, next minute you change. Those are not spiritual qualities. A spiritual man has to be clean, simple, straightforward, keep up his word. Dambaha. These are the Daivi Sampatti. These three verses he said. Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata Tejaha Chamadrutihi Shaucham Adroho Na Atimanita. Now, he is going to talk to us the other demonic Asura nature. Dambaha, hypocrisy. Darpaha, arrogance. Abhimanascha, self-conceit. Krodhaha, anger. Parushyam, harshness. Evacha, ajnanam, ignorance. Abhijatasya partha sampada asuri. You, Devi Sampadi, 3 verses. Asuri Sampadi, only 1 verse. No. Rest of the chapter is only Asuri. He just gave you samples. That's all, right? I don't have to explain 16th chapter much. I only have to tell you the logic of that chapter in Geetha. I did that. Rest I only have to study because all of us are too familiar with what is said here. Who doesn't know what is hypocrisy? Who doesn't know what is arrogance? Who doesn't know what is self-conceit, anger? We all know this. There is no need to explain this. Daivi sampadi vimokchaya nibandhaya asuri mata mashuchaha sampadam daivim abhijatosi pandava. What is the difference between the two assets? If you are endowed with divine qualities, your mind is in close contact with truth. Therefore, ignorance is minimum. Therefore, dependency on the world is minimum. Therefore, freedom from the world, which is called moksha. So if you have Devi qualities, it will lead you to liberation, freedom, independence. If you are materialistic, asuric qualities, you will become dependent, and that is called bandha. Right? So, Devi Sampadi Vimokshaya, freedom. Nibandhaya Asuri Mata. Asuri qualities are for binding you. Nibandhaya, for bondage. And Krishna quickly guides Arjuna, don't worry, don't go on brooding what you belong to. He says, Mastaha Sampadam Daivim Abhijatot. You are born with divine qualities, Daivi qualities, do not worry. But more proof, the Pandavas want that they are born in Devi qualities. When they went to 13 years Vanavasa, Krishna was with them all the time. He never left them. He was not in Dwaraka. He was not in Mathura. He was with them. How fortunate were they? And therefore, they are Daivi Sampadi only. Dau bhuta sargo loke asmin daiva asura evacha. Daivo vistarashaha proktaha asuram praptamesum. I have given you reasonable vocabulary of the Daivi Sampadi. Now listen to me of the Asuri Sampadi. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidura asuraha na shaucham na api cha acharaha na satyam teshu vidyate. Pravrittim, actions to be done. Nivrittim, actions to be refrained. Janaha naviduhu asuraha. These people do not know what should be done, what should not be done. They do not know what should be done and what should not be done. Na shaucham, no purity of thought, no purity physically, no purity anywhere. Na apicha acharaha, there is no right conduct. Na satyam, unreliable, no truth. Teshu vidyate, is not there in them. Right? They do not know what actions to be done, what should not be done, and purity of thought and conduct, nothing is there in them. Asatyam apratishtam me jagadahu anishwaram aparasparasam bhutam kim anyat kamahaitukam. What is there in this world? It's all born out of lust and desire. out of mutual contact. This world has no basis. It's just an accident. There is no God. This is what the Asuras will say, says Krishna. Yetam drishti avastabhya, taking recourse to this view, nasta atmanaha alpa buddhayaha, they have lost themselves to themselves, nasta atmanaha, ruined souls, because they are divine, but they now choose to be mortals, abuddhayaha, unintelligent people, prabhavanti ugra karmanaha, and therefore they won't mind doing anything. Prabhavanti, they take recourse to ugra karmanaha, fierce deeds, chayaya jagato ahitaha, for the destruction of the world. You are seeing it every minute, everywhere happening now. It was there even in those days. Do not say today is bad, but those days there was no TV, there is no media, you won't know. Now, 1 second you put the TV, you will know. Kama masritya dushparam dambamana madanvitaha mohad gruhitva asadgraha pravartate ashuchivrataha. Kama masritya, taking recourse to shelter desires, dushpuram, insatiable desires, dambhamana madanvitaha, hypocrisy, pride and arrogance, mohad gruhitva asadgraha, through delusion, holding on to things that are not reliable, that are not true, that are mortal. That causes you sorrow. Asat grahat, holding on to asat. Pravartante ashuchivrataha. They work ashuchivrataha with all false values and resolves. 9th chapter, Moghasha Mohakarmanaha, Mogagnana Vichetasaha, Rakshasim Asurim Chaiva. There itself, this was referred in the 9th chapter. Moghasha, vainful hopes. Mogagnana, vain knowledge. Mogakarma, vain actions. Who? Rakshashim Asurim Chaiva. The Rakshasic people and Asuric people. Chintam Aparimeyam cha Pralayantam Upasritaha Kama Kamopabhoga Parama Yetavaditi Nishtitaha. They think this life is meant only for enjoying. That's their highest goal. Gratification, sense gratification. Chintam aparimayam, unmeasurable cares. Should do this, should do that. Which will end when? Only with death. Pralayantam, till death. Kama upabhoga, kamopabhoga, paramaha, goal. Kama upabhoga paramaha, regarding gratification of lust as their highest goal. Parama is goal, highest goal. Yetavaditi nishtitaha, they have decided this all life is meant to be. Asha shatehi baddhaha kamakrodha parayanaha ihante kamabhogartham anyonyanartha sanchayan. Anyayena artha sanchayan. Anyayena artha sanchayan. Asha pasha shatair baddha. Hundreds of false hopes. Kama krodha parayanaha. Ayana, goal. Parayana, supreme goal. That is their goal. What is their goal? Kama. And therefore, krodha. Kama krodha parayanaha. Wedded to lust and anger. Ihante. They strive. Kama bhogatam anyayena artha sanchayan. For enjoying sense gratification earn money by any means, anyayena, without logic, without morality, without ethics. And then what do they say? You will listen to these people every day in the market. Idam adya maya labdham imam prapse manoram ratham idam asti idam api me bhavishyati punadhanam. Oh, this much I got, this much tomorrow I will get, and I will get in the future this much. This is going to be me. What do you think of me? I am worth $1 billion today. But don't think that's me. My 5-year target is $1 trillion. Then when I die, it will be 10 trillions. When you die, can you take 1 rupee? Aso maya hataha. I finished this fellow today. Finished means not necessarily killing. Even in business, they will come to the club and home and talk like this. Even Vedanta teachers used to talk. I have finished that fellow in logic. I have defeated that fellow today. Sakhaas, Sankhyas. Aso maya hataha. I have finished him today. Shatruhu, Hanyecha apara. Others also I will finish. I won't have any enemy. I won't have any opponent. Materialist talk. And even Vedanta people, I have heard them talk. Ishwaroham aham bhogi. I am the Lord. I decide. I am the enjoyer. Siddhoham, accomplished. Balavan, strong. Sukhi, happy. This is me. These are all the Asuric people. Adhyo abhijanavanasmi. Konyosti sadrusho maya. Yakshe dasyami modishya itki ajnana vimohitaha. Adhyaha, I am rich. Abhijanavanasmi. What do you think of my family? My pedigree. This is it. My tata was this, my father was this. I am a stupid fellow. Konyosti sadrusho maya. Who is equivalent to me? Yacheda. If you ask, I throw like a biscuit to a dog. Yache dasyami. Modishya. I rejoice. Iti ajnana vimohitaha. Deluded by ignorance. Aneka chitta vibhrantaha. Mohajala samavrutaha. Prasaktaha kamabhogesh. Patante narake asucho. Like this, bewildered by many fancies and entangled in delusion, prasaktaha, attached, addicted, kamabhogeshu, through desires and enjoyments, patanti narakeya sujo. They fall into the hellish life. They suffer hell here itself. Ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodam cha samsritaha, mamatma paradeheshu, pradishvanti abhyasuyakaha. These people with ahankara, balam, bhava, darpam, haughtiness, kamam, desire, krodam, anger, samsritaha, taking recourse to mam atma paradehes, me in their own hearts, torture me, and in other bodies too. They torture me in their own bodies. They torture me in other bodies too. Pradvishanti abhyasuyakaha. They hate everybody. Tanaham dushatakruran samsareshu naradhaman chipami ajasram ashubhan asuri veva yonishu. These fellows, what do? They desire, they want an atmosphere to give vent to their own false knowledge. So I will put them into that atmosphere, into those yonis, those wombs, where they can express this stupidity, this rakshasic qualities. I put them into those yonis. Asuri Shvesha Yonishu. Dvishataha, these people who hate, Tane Aham, Kruran, Samsareshu, Naradaman, the worst of human beings, Shipami. I hurl them, Ajasram forever. They have to go in circles in this dirty atmosphere like pigs. Asrim Yonimapanna, Mudha Janmani Janmani, Mam Aprapyeva Kaunteya, tato yanti adhamam gatim. Going that way, these people, in number of lives, in circles, not gaining the real happiness, me. They never know me. I am their real being in them. They have no time for me. They do not know me. Mam aprapya kaunteya tataha. They still go down and down, down. Tataha yanti adhamam gating. Go on going down and down and down. Why? Asurim yonim apanna. Gaining their atmosphere, suiting their temperament, born in those asuric wombs, janmani, number of lives, they go down further and further and further. And now Bhagavan is giving us route map, GPS to Naraka. He says there are 3 gates to Naraka. You choose. Trividam narakasyeva dwaram nashanamatmanah kamaha krodaha tatha lobaha tasmad etastrayam teja. There are 3 gates to hell. Kama, desire; krodha, anger; lobha, greed. 3 gates to hell. Kama, desire; krodha, anger; lobha, greed. Bhagavan says, tasmad, therefore, etatrayam tejet. Leave all these 3 if you want to be happy. If you want to be in Swarga, you have to leave Kama, you have to leave Krodha, you have to leave Lobha. Etair vimuktah kaunteya tamodvarai tribirnaraha acharatyatmanah sreyaha tato yati paramgatim. One who is liberated from these 3 gates comes out of that mess. He goes to the supreme good. And for that, how to live? What are the right goals? What are the wrong goals? You should take guidance from people whom you know, see their examples, learn from them, and that becomes the Shastra. Yes, Shastra vidhi musrujya vartate kamakaratah nasa siddhim avapnoti nasukam na param gatim. One who goes against the established rules of conduct, which is called Shastra, he never gains the fulfillment in his life, nor happiness, nor the highest goal. He doesn't get it. Therefore, what you should do? Tasmat Shastra Pramanam te karya karya vyavastito Natva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kattu Iha Hasi. Therefore, follow the Shastras, follow the guidelines, follow the time-tested values, live those right values. If you have to escape this hellish life and go to the divine life, that is the 16th chapter. We shall see the 17th chapter next class. That will also finish in one class. 18th chapter will take 5-6 classes. That's why 8 classes I said. Okay. Right? Narayana. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om Narayana. Thank you all.
Hari Om.